Have you ever worked with an application that does not work as you wanted? Have you ever tried to buy a train ticket and when machine simply refused to give you the ticket? Those are examples for a bad user experience. Let's find out why this topic is so important today. Before we can actually start with how UX might affect everyone, let's find a definition for UX design together. There are many different fields a UX designer is working on. He or she might need to create concepts, make prototypes, create visualizations, code some stuff, create a marketing plan for some solutions, evaluate a software product, do research on the user's needs, and on and on and on. It is so much that needs to be taken into consideration if you want to create a high UX, but you would still be listening next year if I told you all of them. However, we came up with a solution that should describe it quite well. To us, user experience design is developing a solution that makes a user be rather with the solution than without it. Think about that during a short break, but let me say it again before. User experience design is developing a solution that makes a user be rather with the solution than without it. Now that was a good song, right? But let's get back to the topic we are actually here to talk about, user experience design. But how did we come up with this definition? The definition is based on different components. It needs to be flexible enough that all fields that relate to the topic of UX can be found in the definition, but it needs to be detailed enough so that everyone gets an idea of what UX design is actually about. UX design starts with evaluating current solutions to a problem. Therefore, it is especially important to entrepreneurs and startups, as they want to solve a problem they discovered the best way possible. Often it is sensible to start discovering what current solutions might exist and how they approach the problem. Once that is done, it is time to get into contact with the target group or the target groups that have the problems and get to know them more. Based on this information, persona can be created that represent the users, their characteristics, needs, and pain points. Based on those persona, it is time to start prototyping. Every prototype that gets created needs to be evaluated with user tests. You should do as many loops of prototyping as possible until your solution fits the user's needs. Don't worry if the first prototypes get reviewed quite badly. This is what the user tests are made for, to find as many errors in a solution as possible. And as soon as the concept behind the solution is working, you can begin with the visual design. During this phase, the visual appearance gets created and evaluated by users. Are graphics, icons, and descriptions perceived correctly? Questions like that need to be answered during this phase. After evaluating and finishing the design too, it is time to start implementing the solution. This phase is completely different depending on the solution type. Therefore, it is quite difficult for us to give exact advice on how the implementation phase should be approached. Once the implementation is finished, however, the final solution should be evaluated again to make some final minor adjustments that can make a big difference for the solution's success. A good approach for the evaluation are standardized questionnaires, as they give a comparability to other solutions. Let's take another short break and I will be right back. Basically everything I've told you before the break is the UX workflow. Those are the 5 stages: research, prototyping, design, implementation, and evaluation. It is important to start either with the research or evaluation stage, as those will give you a proper foundation to grow from. But still, this workflow is not everything you need to know about UX. It is even more. Everything else related to the solution, like branding, packaging, marketing, customer support, your company's online presentation, and many, many more details of your solution come into account when measuring the user experience. Therefore, the job of a UX designer is not only to create the solution itself, but also to give ideas on what the solution's environment needs to be like. In the end, however, it is not only about the solution, whether a company will be successful or not. It is much more about the people behind it. I believe in you, and you should believe in yourself. Take care of the solution, and the solution will definitely take care of you. I believe that's it for today again, and I will be back tomorrow. And I would really appreciate if you are too. Until then, and always remember, you can achieve anything if you truly want it, so always keep pushing. Have a good one.